NC State quarterback Daniel Evans takes the walk of champions awaiting at the bottom of the hill. His mom and his dad, of course his father, Johnny Evans, All-American punter and quarterback at NC State in his day, now radio commentator. And of course for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, they're trying to turn a near miss at Clemson into some positives this afternoon at Carter Finley Stadium. Live from Raleigh, Lincoln Financial Sports and Raycom Sports present ACC football today. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons, with only one loss on their record, take on the Wolfpack of NC State, who have won their last two. Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Martin here. The Wolfpack riding quite a wave with two fourth-quarter comeback wins over Boston College and, of course, Florida State. Now they face Wake Forest in a renewal of the second oldest rivalry in the ACC, and it affords both teams a toehold to get a leg up on the ACC's toughest race of all right now, and that's the Atlantic Division. And joining me today, as always, Rick Doc Walker, who talked about Daniel Evans. Let's move to Wake Forest, and they've got a quarterback in Riley Skinner, who was not at the top of the depth chart when the season began.
No, he really wasn't, but Jim Grove, the head coach, is tickled to death because not only did he get a competitive kid to come in and play, but a playmaker. I love his touchdown-interception ratio, 68% completion. He gives Wake Forest a chance to win, despite the fact that this season they don't lead the ACC in rushing.
Well, he plays a lot older than a redshirt freshman, and of course when you talk about big play capability, they got the north corner of the end zone is Dunlap corner for one reason: two big plays, two big wins.
You know, Chuck Amato has built a solid program here at NC State. He needs playmakers on the offensive side, and now he has it. It all starts at the quarterback position. This young man in 2 games has put the Wolfpack right back in the heat.
And he was the last member of that particular recruiting class signed on the last day of signing period. So Daniel Evans and Riley Skinner set the stage. Two well-drilled, well-coached teams getting ready to go at it, and an old rivalry in its 100th renewal. Wake Forest, NC State. More from Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh right after this. Wake Forest Demon Deacons get ready to take the field. 5-1 their record, and they were 1 quarter away from being 6-0 in their tough loss at the Clemson Tigers' hands. And of course they're still a factor, very much so, in this Atlantic Division race, which is now starting to really heat up. The NC State crowd, they've had odds here quite a while. They sold out all of their season tickets, and here come the Wolfpack under Chuck Amato, 3-2. Their last 2 games against ranked opponents, and they came from behind to beat both Boston College on a touchdown with 5 seconds left to play, and a fourth-quarter comeback from a 10-point deficit to defeat the Florida State Seminoles 10 days ago. And of course, we've got a C-130 flyover. This is a C-130 Hercules. It's just gone over the field.
The Hercules.
Used currently in Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom for moving troops, food, doctors, and cargo. Everybody except the man I'm about to introduce, our third man in the broadcast, Mike Hogwell.
All right, thanks a lot, Steve. What a great day for football. Y'all talked about Daniel Evans, and certainly he's a big key today. But NC State has 2 of the best running backs in the league. Tony Baker is part of that double-team standard, and against Florida State, he ripped off some big runs. The guy who's been cranking out the yardage is Andre Brown. He had 18 carries, 113 yards against Florida State, but they're going up against a really good Wake Forest defense today. And that defense is led by number 5, the guy inside at linebacker. You're talking about John Abadi, who leads the ACC in tackles. This Deacon team held James Davis of Clemson to under 100 yards a week ago. They're going to be tough for State to run on today. It's going to be a physical battle. Got a great setting for a great ACC game. Kickoff is next.
Our Toyota keys to the game, Doc, for Wake Forest. They got to do better than they did last week on the ground.
Well, they really do. And the intention is to get back to what Wake Forest has been so good at in the past, but yet not get away from their effectiveness in throwing the football. They will definitely make an effort to let those big bullies up front get going.
At NC State, win the kicking game and the turnovers. They've done that so well the last 2 weeks.
And that's why they've beaten good teams. If Chuck Amato's team plays a heads-up ball game and they win in the kicking game, they'll be very difficult to beat here at Carter Finley.
There's Chuck Amato right there. His team will go on defense first. The 7th season at NC State, and the 49-30 is his record. Across the way, Jim Grove has done an outstanding job of the Wake Forest program, 31-33 in his 6th year. He's a Virginia grad. spent 11 years under Fisher DeBerry, and of course Chuck Amato spent 19 years under Bobby Bowden, so they both were schooled very well.
Pedigree there, boy.
Third longest ACC series in history. NC State leads 60-33-6. Wake Forest has not won here since 1984. John Delaney will kick it off, and we are underway. It goes out of bounds, and already NC State will give up some field position here to start this first drive of the day. Wake Forest Demon Deacons will come out with Riley Skinner, who subbing for Ben Mock, who injured himself in the first game of the season against Syracuse. He's completed 68% of his passes. Last week, 18 of 23, 169 yards and a touchdown, and he caught a touchdown pass from Nate Morton. And he's looking at first and 10.
Cycle.
Yeah, that's right. What more can he do? Kick a field goal. He hasn't done yet. First and 10 from the Wake Forest 35-yard line. Call it the orbit offense, if you will. It's a lot of action that the defense has to keep track of. Skinner gets the snap from Steve Justice, and we're underway. The pass into the backfield is complete, but not for many yards. Kevin Harris, the receiver. Let's take a look at our Chevrolet starting lineups and have a glance at this Wake Forest offense. Willie Idolette, 13 receptions, 2 touchdowns for the fifth-year senior. Kevin Harris, Richard Belton, Kenneth Moore, and Zach Selman is the tight end. Up front, a talented group. Steve Vallows, who got 2 mid-season first and second team awards. Louis Frazier, Steve Justice, Chris DeGear, and Jeff Griffin. Marion is split wide out. Idolette is in the slot. The pitch comes to Harris. Good block on the corner from Belton, and he'll get out to about the 36-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7. Garland Heath comes up for the tackle for the NC State defense. And once again, our Chevy starters featuring the defense. Tank Tyler up front has been outstanding. 40 tackles. Ray Brooks, Demario Presley, Martrell Brown up front. The linebackers, a good group, led by Pat Lowry, the leading tackler in the ACC. LaRue Rump and Ernest Jones subbing for Reggie Davis today. And A.J. Davis, Garland Heath, DeJuan Morgan, and Jimmy Sutton are your DBs for Chuck Amato. Looking at third down, no score, 9 yards to go. Wake Forest with the football. Moore in motion across the formation. Skinner steps up, fires, the pass complete. And it's brought down by Kevin Marion for the first down at midfield. Going to be a gain on the play of about 16 yards. Garland Heath made the tackle, but Riley Skinner stepped up a little bit in the pocket and made it work.
And we talked about this young man in the open. Watch him step right up right there in the pocket. That gives him room, gives his receiver a chance to work into the route. Excellent throw and catch for Wake Forest.
Plus, it keeps the integrity of the pocket.
Third and 9, man. That's big-time play.
That's huge. Wake Forest this season, 40% on third down conversions, which is pretty good. In the top 3 of the league. Handoff goes to Harris. Harris picking his way around the blocks and finally goes down to the 43-yard line.
Can't pick your way around NC State's defense.
No.
They're way too fast. I mean, they thrive. They get to the football in a hurry. Steve Dunlap has the Wolfpack going. Watch them getting off the ground. See, they don't stay blocked. They converge, and they go to crush the ball carrier. Miguel Scott in there on the play. It's an attitude thing as a running back. When you go against the Wolfpack, you have to believe in going north-south.
Second and a short 6. All in NC State territory. Here's the fullback, Belton. And Belton gets up ahead. He has the first down, and he's down at the NC State 33-yard line. LaRue Rumpf coming up to make the tackle for the Wolfpack.
Rich doesn't get a lot of touches, but he's averaging 5.5 yards a crack. And this is a change of pace. Highly effective. And this is what we were told Wake Forest would try to do. And so far, I mean, it's hard to remember. They had a 2nd and 16 just a few plays ago.
Yeah, that's a faint memory now at the 34 of NC State. Blitz coming. This time Harris gets around the corner. Harris gets down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Ernest Jones comes up to make the tackle for the Wolfpack, but Wake Forest now digging in some real estate.
Boy, this is really hard. Steve Vallows, we talked about him in tackle. A lot of bulk right inside, but you see the white shirts, they stay on their feet. No belly floppers. Watching Steve Vallows right here. Big stud left tackle for Wake Forest. Steps out, good footwork, hands a little high, but then he saves it. Going down, and that was enough to get the edge
for Harris.
1st and 10. Idolette split wide to the top side. Kevin Marion to the bottom. They've got Belton set up in a wing. Here comes the reverse. It's to Idolette. Block on the corner from Skinner. Idolette inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. 2 yards short of a first down, so a pickup of 8 on the reverse play for Wake Forest.
Well, Valles may have a little problem with his footing. Here he slips. NC State, so you see big Tank Tyler. He's hustling to the ball. When your quarterback can block for you, then you don't mind getting that guy a second helping in the lunch line, a milkshake. You don't mind helping him out because he's a tough guy.
He needs something more than a smoothie, I think.
Oh, yeah. Smoothies are out.
3rd down, 2nd down and 2. Ball at the 15. That's Idolette in motion. This is Harris in a big hole at the 10, 5, touchdown, Wake Forest. A 15-yard romp on a drive that started inconspicuously.
Boy, this didn't look pretty here, but it's technique. They switch on the cross block guard and tackle exchange, and that's walking the dog, folks. Untouched for Wake Forest. Belton with a big block.
Harris with the touchdown. 15-yard run for Kevin Harris. That's his 4th touchdown of the season. And here comes Sam Swank for the point after. Kick is up, and it is good. Sam Swank, ACC Special Teams Player of the Week, has hit now his 48th consecutive point after touchdown. And the touchdown came from Kevin Harris. Harris, a freshman, a redshirt freshman from Sanford, Florida, untouched from 15 yards out. A Kevin Harris touchdown run of 15 yards puts Wake Forest on the board on their first offensive possession. And let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A nugget of the game. A Wake Forest win today would make the Deacons bowl eligible and equal their best start since 1979. We get a lot of football to play here yet at Carter Finley Stadium, and we've yet to hear from the Wolfpack offensively, but we're just seconds away from that. Sam Swank getting ready to kick it off for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. There's Swank. Darrell Blackman and Andre Brown back to receive. Blackman will down this in the end zone. And we'll get a look at NC State coming out of their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. And the kicking game important, Doc. We saw it play a factor in that first drive.
Well, if the ball goes out of bounds, Wake Forest starts on the short track 35-yard line. Big key play in the drive. They were able to overcome a 3rd and 9. They had a 2nd and 16. They made plays. They blocked up front. They stuck to the game plan, dodged a big play on the opening play. You have a loss, kept their composure, and pretty good way to start, especially for the road team.
Well, here's Daniel Evans bringing the Wolfpack to the line. You see what he's done so far this season. 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's from here in Raleigh. Here comes the handoff, first play, and NC State puts some yardage on it too. Tony Baker with an 11-yard gain. Wow.
Offensive line, you talk about explosion off the football. State showing some guts.
Let's take a look at our Chevrolet starting lineups. Andre Brown has 105 yards average in ACC competition, teamed with Tony Baker. Dunlap, Blackman, and Hill, a talented group of receivers. Up front, Leroy Harris can play all positions. And now on first down again, once again, it's Tony Baker. And Baker.
Anthony Hill, big block there for the big tight end.
Josh Gaddis comes up to make the tackle for Wake Forest. That's a 5-yard gain. Let's look at the Wake Forest Demon Deacon defense. Giles Tucker anchors a good defensive line with Smith, Stoops, and Thompson. John Abadi is the man in the middle, leads the ACC at 11.5 per game in league competition. And Josh Gaddis, 8 career interceptions. He returned one of those for a touchdown last year against NC State. 2nd down, Evans to throw. Pass complete to Dunlap. Not much of a gain there, maybe a yard. The play made by Riley Swanson.
I like the way Mark Tressman, the coordinator for NC State, started this off. He established the fact that, NC State can be physical. Formations are one thing. Execution and toughness are another. And this is safe. But I go back to those 2 runs. Impressive start for the Pack.
3rd down and 4. Daniel Evans back to throw. Has a man on there, but it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Tony Baker.
See, this is back-to-back collisions now. Wake Forest watched the Wolfpack on defense. They said, all right, we can do this too. We can get down and dirty with it. And that's a rat-a-tat-tat. You get double hits, guys going high and low, getting after it.
Kenneth Moore, Willie Idolette back to get the punt of John Duraney. Duraney, 37.8 average. This is his first of the afternoon off the side of the foot. It takes a NC State bounce. This is Kenneth Moore with an open running roll, and he's tripped up, and just tripped up. A 39-yard punt, but a 15-yard return. Doc, you spent a little time with the first and 10 guys this morning.
The first and 10 truck. Saw all the technology.
How many computers they use?
Five computers.
Here's Harris. And Harris gets a full head of steam and is close to picking up a first down on a play that looked like it wasn't going to go for much. But now he's over the 40-yard line and down to the 38, a gain of 10.
You know, what's really amazing to me, and if you're a fan of Wake Forest, you have to be quite pleased. A disappointing loss to a really good Clemson team. This team bounces back. They make a commitment to get the ground game going. And so far, so good.
3rd down and 3 for the Deacons, who lead by a touchdown. Blitz again. Belton, the fullback, runs into his blocker, and that's all she wrote. Raymond Brooks drives him to the ground. Great penetration by NC State. Chris DeGear was pushed back in the backfield.
And that's the problem. That's a lot of pushing. DeGear is 360 pounds. So I guarantee you, Tank Tyler, but he bent Tank will bench press 550. So that's why it pays off to hit the weight room. But that was one way where if you turn Rich's shoulders, now you got it. You don't want him going north-south. But Tank is playing great football.
We got a 3rd down coming here. And we are rapidly ending the first quarter of play. So Wake Forest gets ready to ponder what happens on 3rd down.
I'd like to see Hogwood and Tank Tyler in the arm wrestling contest.
No, I don't think Mike would like to see that. That's the end of the first quarter. Wake Forest on a Kevin Harris touchdown, leading NC State 7-0 in Raleigh. Mike Hogwood said, if you don't hear from me, I'm headed next door for a doughboy. Gastrointestinal mess over there. Wake Forest 7-0 over NC State. Fair time, always a great time. It opened up yesterday. And you can see the vast, we had a ton of people concentrated in one area of the city of Raleigh. We got about 100,000 over at the fair and about half that here. 3rd down coming up for Wake Forest, start the second quarter. And nothing doing for Kevin Harris, who had 48 yards rushing to NC State's total of 41 yards rushing.
Tank Tyler, right in the middle of it, right there. If you see a traffic jam, believe me, Tyler's somewhere in the middle of it. 6'2", 300 pounds, and see, he just takes over. And Justice is a pretty big guy, about 285, and he's stout in the middle. Big-time player for the Pack.
Out of the hold of John Temple. 51-yard field goal attempt coming for Sam Swank. His career longest is 52, hit earlier this season. Here comes the kick. It is up, and it is good. 51 yards for Sam Swank, who's 9 for 12 from field goal range, and he puts NC State in a 10-0 hole. Time for our Progress Energy Progress Report. We look at the first quarter stats. We're just underway in the second quarter. 6 rushing yards, most of that to Kevin Harris. You can see NC State's a little behind in that department. Average yards on first down in NC State's favor, but Wake Forest making it happen on later downs. 8 rushes, 48 yards for Kevin Harris, and he has the game's only touchdown. And we've just witnessed a 51-yard field goal by that man, Sam Swank.
Well, they've already improved over their loss to Clemson. They didn't run the ball particularly well against the Tigers. Now they're running it well, and they improved on that field goal. Had a botched attempt. May have cost them the ball game. Not today.
Efficient drive, as you saw, on 8 plays, 32 yards. Swank with the kick. This one will be returned. Blackman at the 4. Blackman, and he lost the football, but NC State picked it up. Wow, Schofield made the tackle. A 20-yard return. Very, very close.
Coach Amato said kicking game. Wow.
Yes. Right now, NC State in a 10-0 hole. On 1st and 10, this is going to be Baker. And Baker gets up over the 25-yard line down to the 28. And it's going to be a 4-yard gain.
Baker got popped, too, by Pierre easily. Big hits going on both sides of the ball, but after the first defensive possession, Wake Forest has started to crank their intensity up as well.
No question. All right, Blackman and Bowens will be wide to the right side. Jaron James to the left side. Evans back to throw. Blitz is on. Pass is complete. And it's brought down by Andre Brown. Not much yardage on the run, and he barely got rid of the ball. Let's go to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
So much is made of Daniel Evans' relationship with his dad, the great quarterback Johnny Evans, but really unique that Daniel Evans is one of 4 quadruplets that were born to the Evans family. He was the first one born. His sister wrote a wonderful article this past week, My Brother is More Than a Quarterback, talking about the love between these 4 kids and how close that they are supporting each other and how they're supporting their brother, Daniel Evans, who's getting the opportunity of a lifetime. That's really unique. Quadruplets, guys.
Yes, it is. Imagine 4 of Mike Hogwood. Daniel Evans back to throw. Pass is complete to Blackman at midfield. And he is in Wake Forest territory, the smallest of that group of big receivers, Darrell Blackman, and he gets it down to the 45 on a 27-yard gain. Chip Vaughn and Josh Gaddis have to bring him down.
Oh boy, did the Wolfpack need this in the worst way. Talking about Evans, Mike Hogwood, accuracy. That's the thing that's so impressive about this young man. He puts the ball right on the mark so his receiver doesn't have to slow down. He can catch it in stride. Big time play for the Pack.
You're talking about that accuracy, Doc.
I talked to Johnny. I got to tell you about this when you get a chance.
All right, 1st and 10. Evans with a pump fake. Steps away from the pressure. Now he's on his own. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Jaron James.
And I asked Johnny, I said, what's it like to watch your son play at this level? He said, it really helps that I do the broadcast because I don't get caught up in it because I've got to stay current play-by-play.
Yeah.
If not, I'd probably be a wreck. But great guy. And it's every dad's, for the most part, a dream.
Oh, sure.
See your kid out, no matter win, lose, or draw, just to compete at this level.
And they get 2 kids on this team. Wide receiver Andrew Evans. And off inside comes Andre Brown, and he's on his way. And Brown brought down by Roddy Swanson and Josh Gaddis. Well, we talked to Dean Hood, defensive coordinator Wake Forest. What's your number 1 job? Stop 24. He just showed you why.
Yeah, exceptional backs. Good ones don't go down with arm tackles. There was contact at the line of scrimmage. He broke it.
13 yards downfield for another Wolfpack first down. And
timeout, State.
So NC State calls timeout to talk things over here at the 11:36 mark of this second quarter. Wake Forest with a Kevin Harris 15-yard run on the first series of the day and a Sam Swank 51-yard field goal. Timeout on the field. Back after a word from your local ACC station. Steve Martin, Rick Doc Walker, Mike Hogwood here at Carter Finley Stadium.
Hogwood's a rock star, man. He's people screaming and hollering.
He owes people.
He's like a Beatle.
Literally. Going the other way is Andre Brown. And Brown is tripped up from behind by Chip Vaughn and brought down at the 27-yard line. Going to be a gain on the play of 6 yards for NC State. Back to the sidelines, an injury update from none other than Mike Hogwood.
Yeah, I think it means I've been doing this a long time, guys. Hey, a big injury for NC State. Kalani Happy, he may be their best offensive lineman. He's certainly one of the top. When he has a head injury, they don't know if he's going to be able to come back in this game.
That means Leroy Harris might even move over to that right guard, that left guard spot. But actually right now they've got Mears Green in that spot, and Harris will stay at center. Evans, just before he got hit, delivers the pass to Baker for the first down inside the 20. Vaughn tried to strip him, and it's going to be another first down for the Wolfpack, who are knocking on the door, their first venture into the red zone.
Boy, Coach Dick Portini, running back coach for NC State. I talked to him before the ball game. I see that smile on his face, and this is why, folks. Abidi with a big hit here on Evans, but when you have talent like Baker and Brown, boy, that's why coaches will smile during the pregame.
Gets them inside the 20 to the 18. 1st and 10 for Daniel Evans and the Wolfpack. Dunlap in motion. Looking that way as Evans, pass complete to Bowens. Bowens turns around and he's headed toward the end zone, drops the ball in the end zone. Let's see what the ruling's going to be. Did he cross the plane with possession?
We're going to need some help from upstairs on this one.
This is going to be interesting. It's going to be NC State ball, but the question is, it's not going to be a touchdown. It's going to be down inside the 1. A 17-yard gain.
Boy, receivers define themselves after the catch. Ball right on the mark, as most of them are. Contact, ball is out. I know Wake will. I don't blame Wake. I would screaming and hollering, trying to get it. Tackle, bit of a strip on the side. A body once again. Who else?
9th play of the drive. 1st and goal from the 1. Handoff to Brown into the end zone. Touchdown NC State. Josh Gaddis with the tackle, but it was too late. Andre Brown for his 3rd touchdown of the season.
Strong run, big time drive, all the elements involved. Pass, play action, good blocking. Competitive defense by Wake Forest, but how do you stop a guy who's airborne? He looked like one of those paratroopers that landed here at Carter Finley pregame.
John Duraney out of the hold of Daniel Evans. Getting ready for the point after. The kick is up, and it is good. 75 straight. John Duraney's never missed one since he's been here at NC State. Matter of fact, the last time he missed the point after, he was a junior in high school. Andre Brown carries over from the 1, and NC State's on the board, trailing the Deacons by 3. Steve Martin here along with Rick Doc Walker and Mike Hogwood. ACC football from Lincoln Financial and Raycom Sports. And right now, the Demon Deacons lead 10-7. Wolfpack just on the scoreboard here for the first time. Our Tropical Smoothie scoreboard coming up as John Duraney gets ready to kick the ball away.
Now for some Tropical Smoothie, that means it's in.
And this one drops into the end zone, and
be careful.
It's going to be a touchback. Kevin Marion.
Hard for me to pick a werewolf out of this group. So many of them.
2nd down and 22. Handoff inside to the fullback, and there's nothing there. Jim Grove
is nasty.
Yeah. Tank Tyler and Demario Presley in on the tackle. Let's go to the sidelines with more from Mike Hogwood.
You're talking about Tank Tyler. I think the key to this season for him was the Southern Mississippi game. He made a mistake in that game and did something to embarrass his team and embarrassed himself. He apologized for it. He was suspended for a series in the BC game. But Chuck Amato says since then he has been a true captain and a true leader.
3rd down and 22. Pass out to the flats. Not much there. NC State has put Wake Forest offense in an envelope and just smothered it shut.
That's 8 red shirts to the ball. You get 8 hats to the ball. That's pretty good. Those odds will be in your favor. I don't care who you are. Because Gale Sayers wouldn't have gotten out of this one.
No.
Boy, this is tough. Good relationship, pad placement outside by Sutton. And then watch the Wolfpack converge.
Jimmy Sutton making the tackle, and look at the reaction up
That's
front.
infectious, man.
Yep.
Defense leads it all. That's what gets you. You determine your team by how tough you are on defense.
Tough spot coming up here for Sam Swank as they tighten the formation. And he's 7 yards deep. He gets it away. Swank with a line drive. Blackman picks it up at the 47. Blackman picking up steam. And he is brought down from behind by Chip Vaughn. It is going to be a 43-yard punt, and it's a 13-yard return for Darrell Blackman. Excellent field position. So NC State, best field position of the day at the Wake Forest 37-yard line. Eugene is in motion. The play action by Evans, and he just threw it away. Jeremy Thompson in pursuit.
You know how hard it is to get kids to do that?
Yeah. Everybody wants to
Everybody
make
wants
a play.
to force it, make it go. That's the thing. His demeanor as a sophomore is, and that, you know, as Mike Hogwood talked about in the open, when you grow up on the sidelines as like a gym rat, you know, for football, being around it with his father and his brother, that's what helps. He makes good decisions.
We talked about, you know, watching Jamie Barnett and Phillip Rivers.
That's a lot you can learn from.
You bet. Here is Baker trying to get outside. He gets outside of one man and is brought down. Patterson almost got him, but he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Patrick G finally makes the tackle, but it's a first down after a 12-yard gain.
Boy, boy, boy. It's one thing about this now. We're going to watch this It's I think it's 64 is center, which would be remarkable. No, it's a guard. Guard 64. I lost that. Watch that block. He gets it 1.5. Gets around the corner. Rarely do you see Patterson lose outside shoulder relationship as a corner, but that time they got it done. Boy, when your left guard can get around, shifting some people on that line for the Wolfpack.
1st and 10 at the 25. They have shifted Harris.
Well, Harris was a center. Yeah,
he's moved to left guard now.
Yeah.
Play action. Evans with time down the field. He's looking for his tight end, Hill, and he's got it at the 4-yard line. What a catch with Riley Swanson draped all over it.
Well, this is one time where, size is a factor because Swanson has excellent position defensively. But what Anthony Hill did was block the sun out. Nice, safe throw. No way to get to it. I mean, what are you going to tell him? Son, you did a great job. There was nothing you could do about it.
It just happened to be an eclipse when you got there.
Trying to block Kareem's shot. Boy, but the ball placement again. I want to check Daniel Evans' birth certificate. You sure this kid's a sophomore?
1st and goal from the 3. Play action. Evans again sprinting to the top. Has a man open, the tight end again. But a great play by John Abadi. Jonathan Abadi came in and knocked it away from the tight end.
See, Abadi has what Swanson at 188 doesn't have. Abadi has a hammer, a sludge hammer in his pocket. 245 pounds, little delay. Watch Abadi. He identifies it. Ball is there, and that left hand gets it out.
Wow.
Boy, that's strong. Now, that's big time.
That is the margin of error, very little.
Yep, throwing to a guy with, you can throw to a big guy with 2 guys around him because of his size.
Double tight end set to the left side. 2nd and goal from the 3. Handoff goes to Baker, sprinting for the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Tony Baker, his 2nd touchdown of the season. Let's see it again.
Watch the fullback. Watch Bettis get here.
Oh, yeah.
Little tap out. He just follows it. Walks the dog all the way in the end zone. Love those fullbacks. Unsung heroes. Blue-collar workers. A beatie on the ground. You're not going to see a body down a lot.
Here comes Delaney for the kick after. It is good, and the Wolfpack take the lead on a Tony Baker touchdown and a point after kick by John Delaney with 5:38 left to go in the first half, and the Wolfpack up 14-10.
You get John Abadi down on the ground in a goal line situation, you're going to score. The Wolfpack got it done. Give the offensive line some credit, fullback, and a back with vision, speed, the whole 9 yards. The Wolfpack flexing their muscles.
They've scored on the last 2 possessions. Let's watch Abadi and illustrate your point.
The ultimate beast. This guy good getting over. See, it took 2, but that final helmet got him down.
Yep. And there goes the ball carrier.
There it goes. No Abadi equals touchdown.
So both running backs out of the tandem by NC State have scored. 5 plays, 37 yards. Took them 1:07. They had great field position on the punt as they picked the ball up at the Wake Forest 37-yard line. It's John Delaney with a kick. Now this is Marion, and he gets it out to about the 22-yard line. A 19-yard return. Tackle made there by William Bradshaw, and that's how it goes. 1st and 10 now for Wake Forest. They're now down for the first time this afternoon, 14-10.
Well, it's been a bit of a cat and mouse game. Coach Lebowski and Coach Dunlap trying to making adjustments.
And now the Wolfpack adjustments have worked very nicely. Morton in motion. And off inside, here comes the reverse. Good block by Morton to free Kenneth Moore. And Moore headed upfield. Moore down the sideline and finally is brought down in NC State territory at the 43-yard line by A.J. Davis.
Well, franchise, you called it out. No matter what happened, all the razzle-dazzle, it came down to Nate Morton, a wide receiver who makes a key block, keeps it going in, and gets a twofer.
On Tank
and you
Tyler.
watch Skinner, and he hit the tank. Boy, better hope he didn't get dent on that one. And this play is the play that Wake Forest needed. Silence the crowd and get back on the good foot.
37 yards downfield for Kenneth Moore that time on the reverse. Swanson out of the shotgun. Big blitz is on by Young. The pass up for grabs. Almost coming down with it was Morton, but double coverage there by Heath and also Jeremy Gray.
And see, when you're 6 feet 195, as opposed to what we saw with NC State, they threw into Anthony Hill, who blocked his son. This time the defense has an advantage. Good idea, because I was sitting there saying to myself, Waite's got to stretch the field.
Yeah.
That might help get that running game loosened up.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
20-7. South Florida.
Florida State by a touchdown over Duke. Blitz is on. Skinner is complete to Harris, and Harris brought down. Jimmy Sutton makes the first tackle, and it's a gain of about 8.
That time they gave NC State rather a bit of their own medicine. Just getting out in the flat, playing the numbers game, nearly picked up a first down.
Well, NC State has pretty much sealed it off tackle to tackle right now.
Oh yeah, with the tank not having it.
No. He's working on the center, Steve Justice. 3rd down and 3. Harris to the corner on the pitch, and he's ridden down. Taken down there by Allen Michael Cash.
Boy, that's tough.
Freshman out of Richmond, Virginia. Redshirt freshman.
That is tough. Now they have their fullback, Rich Belton, who I think will get involved in this pretty soon. But they're so good at the stretch. This time a lot of white shirts up. But boy, the Wolfpack, they just get after it, and people fly to the football. It's a big stop for NC State.
And Sam Swank is on to kick a field goal, which if he makes it will be the longest of his career. He's already had 2 field goals of 50 or better this season. Hit a 51-yarder earlier. This is for 53. His career longest, 52. Kick is up. And it is good.
Money.
He's got 5 career kicks of 50 yards or more. Sam Swank salvages something out of a drive that started at the Wake Forest 22-yard line. He kicks the 53-yarder out of the hold of John Temple.
And you can hear a pin drop here at Carter Finley. Boy, it has some distance, Steve.
Oh, it hit the canopy, so he well cleared the bar.
Yeah, that could have gone for 60.
That could have.
But it still doesn't diminish the fact that NC State got a big stop, because it's only 3. Because it looked like the Deacons had picked up a little momentum.
Yep.
So, I mean, you have to favor. Anytime I can take 4 off the board from a defensive standpoint, I think both people win on that.
Sam Swank.
So Sam's future is pretty bright.
Well, they've had some pretty good specialists.
Oh, man.
What about Ryan Plaquemire?
Beast.
Beast as a punter. This guy does it all. He punts and he does the placements. And, of course, his counterpart, John Duraney, does it. Yep.
Who looks like baby Plaquemire.
Blackman in the end zone, and he won't come out. Wake Forest and Clemson last week, and it all turned around 17-3, and Wake Forest is looking for a field goal. Swank can't get a kick at this one because Temple couldn't put the ball down, and Gaines Adams goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown. That put Clemson down 17-10. They would score 24 unanswered points en route to coming from behind for the win over Wake Forest. You take that play away, who knows what we're going to do.
22-3.
Yeah.
They would have needed 3 touchdowns to score, and they hadn't scored any.
No.
Boy, you talk about freak play. But give Gaines credit. It's amazing how,
Ball's on the ground. Wake Forest looks like, and they pushed it into the end zone where NC State pounces on it. Newby pounces on the loose ball. Josh Gaddis.
Boy, coaches spend hours telling kids, just secure it. You know, we win if you get security of the football. But who doesn't want to be on the highlight? So kids go after it.
Well, he was changing.
Talk about freak play.
Yep. He was changing hands with it, Doc, and dropped it. It looked like
almost 3 guys in white shirts can't secure it. NC State, really, they dodged a major bullet.
Newby recovers for a safety that'll put Wake Forest in front.
Could have been way worse than that.
It could have been a lot worse for Chuck Amato's team, but they're down by 1 now. And now they've got to kick it away to Wake Forest. 15-14, the safety scored as the ball loose from Andre Brown was pushed into the end zone by Wake Forest, but it was recovered by Newby. James Newby, the left tackle out of Athens, Alabama. Same
Big
hometown as
come through.
Yep. And that made it 2 instead of 6 for the other team.
And it wasn't a forced fumble, as I saw it. It almost looked like he just lost control.
No, he was switching hands. He was switching hands because he was coming into the line. He decided to switch to his right hand. He had it in his left, and he just lost it midway through. Watch this again, and you'll see what happened. And see how close Wake came to recover.
Well, I promise you, Dean Hood will have a chat with 3 of his Demon Deacons next week to say secure first. You'll be a hero just on the security, right there. Ball, that free
Pierre Easley almost got on it. Yep. And there's Newby getting under it. It's a safety. And NC State now down by a point, and they have to kick off. And Delaney will do the placement from his own 20. Marion and Kenneth Moore. Kevin Marion and Kenneth Moore are back to receive this kickoff. Marion returned an opening kickoff, 93 yards against Clemson last week. He's got the football, and he's not going anywhere near that.
Not on that one.
Nope. John Kane in on the tackle. A 6-yard return. We've got a flag on the field. Jack Childress' crew talking things over. Well, it's been an interesting ball game so far, and this is going to be a block in the back against Wake Forest, so this will push them back a little bit further. Riley Skinner to pass. The pass is complete. It's out there to Kenneth Moore, complete at the 35-yard line, and it's going to be a gain of about 12. And it'll bring up first down. Look at the Wolfpack sideline. We'll be at the 35-yard line now of Wake Forest. 1st and 10. Skinner under center. Draw play to Kevin Harris. And Harris gets to the hole quickly and pushes his way across the 40 to the 42-yard line. LaRue Rumpf in on the tackle.
You talk about breaking your back. Wake could turn this into a scoring.
Timeout.
Wow.
Wake.
7-yard gain.
Timeout and a half.
Timeout on the field with 35 seconds left to play in the first half. Wake by 1 point with the ball. We'll be right back. They're about to come back in. Wake Forest 15-14, a safety on NC State's first play after Sam Swank tied a school record with 53-yard field goal. And the first play by NC State, fumble in the end zone, and it was down by NC State for a safety.
Idolette has been quiet to this point.
Yes, he has. He just came into the slot. Skinner back to throw with time. Gets away from 2 rushers. Upfield has a man open, and it's complete. And that is going to be a touchdown, and it's going to be Kevin Harris. No, it is not Kevin Harris. It is Nate Morton. Nate Morton, a 57-yard touchdown hookup.
Nate deserved it just because of the big block he had, the 2 blocks he had. I thought his number would be called. Talk about offensive line play. There's Big Tank. Tank's always around it, but you have to give Vallows credit on that one, or Justice, Steve Justice, big-time block. Wide open for Morton. Smart decision not to throw that block by Kenneth Moore.
And Sam Swank on for the point after. Kick is up, and it is good. And Wake Forest has silenced the crowd here at Carter Finley Stadium. Nate Morton, the 2nd touchdown that he's caught this season. He's also thrown one.
It's all about pressure. Can you block people? Steve Justice, great job inside to keep terrible Tank away from it. And this is when you're trying to, what do you call it in terms of just keeping everybody underneath? Sometimes it doesn't work. With that kind of protection, nothing would work. With that kind of pass protection, rather. And, boy, big-time play. What did I just say to you? What if Wake was to score on this? You talk about suck the life out of Carter Finley.
Well, just about here at halftime. The clock's going to run down. Still running here, and neither team will attempt to get back onto the field as the first half will come to a close. So the Wake Forest Demon Deacons strike on 3 scoring plays. A 53-yard field goal by Sam Swank. Then a safety. Tackled in the end zone was James Newby as recovered the loose ball. And then a quick strike, 57 yards downfield. Riley Skinner with great patience escaping Tank Kyler to hook up with Nate Morton going toward the end zone. And that's how Wake Forest scores. And they hit 3 scores in 2.2 minutes. In the second quarter, and they have a lead headed into the locker room here at halftime. You see the Demon Deacons walk off the field. They had a lead last week against Clemson, and Mike Hogwood is standing by, and he's getting ready to speak with Wake Forest head coach Jim Grove.
Thank you, Steve. What a football game, but how about your guys taking advantage of opportunity so far?
Well, we did late, Mike. Early, I wasn't very happy with taking advantage of opportunities, but certainly at the end of the second quarter, we did some really good things.
Your lines, you've had some guys come in and out, but they gave Riley Skinner so much time on that pass to Nate Morton. That was a huge play.
Yeah, and I thought Riley did a good job moving his feet early in the first quarter. I thought he gave up on one, but that one he got out of the pocket, did a really nice job.
All right, you're up 8. Now, what do you tell the guys in the locker room? What do you want them to do better in the second half?
Well, keep playing. I think we had some adversity in the first half and overcame it. I'm sure we're going to have some adversity in the second half, and on the road, you just got to keep playing for 4 quarters.
All right, Jim Grove headed to the locker room. His Deacons are on top of NC State, 22-14. A really good ACC battle this afternoon in Raleigh.
Welcome back to Carter Finley Stadium as we get ready to start the third quarter of action. Wake Forest leading NC State 22-14 with 12 points in the last 2 minutes. As the Wolfpack trailed the Demon Deacons 22-14 a few moments ago, our Mike Hogwood had a chance to catch up with Wolfpack head coach Chuck Amato.
Thanks, Steve. Chuck, you're down 8. What'd you tell these guys in the locker room?
Well, we're beating ourselves. In the last minute and 40 seconds, they scored 12 points. It started with a long reverse, and then they got a field goal, and then it started with a fumble that they got to, and then it started with a big pass. We have the things that we can't allow, long plays and protecting the football.
All right, good luck second half.
Thank you, Mike Hogwood. Chuck Amato knows very well what the story was. We talked to him yesterday. He says, we beat BC, we beat Florida State, but you know something? This is the team that scares us the most. They are a team that is difficult to prepare for. Nobody plays like they do on either side of the ball.
Yeah, Wake should scare anybody with good sense.
Here are your team leaders for Wake Forest. Riley Skinner, 7 of 9, very efficient day with a touchdown. Kevin Harris, 55 yards, 48 of those in the first quarter and on the first drive. Morton, of course, with a reception for 57 and a touchdown. Curry and Gaddis have 4 tackles each, and Sam Swank has 2 50-yard field goals, one a 51-yarder and the other tied a school record at 53. This ball is going out of bounds, and it's going to be Wolfpack ball at the 35. So we do the first half in reverse now.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that something? And NC State will start at the 35. And the last time that had happened, Wake Forest turned it into a scoring drive. Daniel Evans, 8 of 13, 91 yards. Baker, of course, the leading rusher. Brown's done very good as well. Darrell Blackman has 2 catches and 5 tackles for Ernest Jones, who's starting at the right side linebacker in place of Reggie Davis, who's injured this afternoon. There's Daniel Evans, 1st and 10 at his own 35-yard line. Baker, the lone setback. Pass batted down. Giles Tucker got a hand on the ball, and it does not get to the flats.
There's nothing more important than the first possession of the second half, because you want to make sure your kids really get back into the flow of the game, go over those corrections you've made, and see, a positive results.
You see NC State's first half possessions. They missed a field goal after a pretty good drive of 9 plays and 60-odd yards. Evans, the throw again, this time Dunlap out on the wing, and a nice open field tackle by Alfonso Smith. Redshirt sophomore from Pahokee, Florida. He intercepted a pass in the game between these two last year, and Winston-Salem and returned it for a touchdown.
It is to Donald Bowen's 80 for NC State. Right in the middle of your screen does a fine job of opening up the area. But Smith was a pit bull on that play. He would not let go.
NC State 2 of 4 on third down conversions this afternoon, which is better than their season series of about 29%. They're looking at 3rd and 8 here. Down 22-14. Evans steps up. Pass is low and complete, and it's to Barrett. Lamart Barrett.
He might have it. You talk about that was a slingshot throw. And you know, one thing I like about Evans, he doesn't take a lot of chances, but on 3rd down, his team needed a big play. He slides out of the pocket on the run, throwing across his body. That's big time.
Evans handoff to Baker, and Baker in pursuit and drawn down by Stanley Arnew.
He might have lost a yard on that.
I'm telling you, this Wake Forest defense.
Arnew.
All second half they've been outstanding.
They really have. I mean, that's just great pad placement outside. You look out here, you're playing the defensive end spot, and your job is not to give up contain. That is as good as it gets. If that's Anthony Davis over there, boy, that's a job well done.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Daniel Evans and company haven't been able to get anything done, but their quarter is the 4th. Only 6 yards rushing in the 3rd quarter in this very physical game between these two old rivals. The 100th meeting between Wake Forest and NC State. And the Demon Deacons have an 8-point lead headed into the 4th. Let's take a look at our Red Roof Inn's stats through 3 quarters of play. Hauled up 131 on the ground. Held NC State to 33 total yards in the 3rd quarter. Their defense has been the story of this, and only 6 yards on the ground. So the Demon Deacons have put it all together this afternoon defensively. Let's see if they can hold on and hand the Wolfpack their first loss in ACC play. The pass complete. Lamart Barrett, senior from Miami Springs, Florida. Aaron Curry on the tackle. And let's head to the sidelines with Mike Hogwood.
Steve, a lot of teams, when they start the 4th quarter, hold up 4 fingers to signify, hey, we're going to play really hard the 4th quarter. Wake Forest, they hold up 5, and there's a reason for that. John Abadi, as you know, switched to number 5 this year in honor of his brother, who was killed in a tragic car accident in the offseason. And they signal that 5 up to the stands. People in the stands signal the 5 back to them. It's kind of a neat thing that Wake Forest does to start the 4th quarter.
That was his younger brother's uniform number, as a matter of fact.
He wore number 5.
Brown on the carry, not much going there, and Jonathan Abadi as if on cue. Well, you don't have to cue that young man. He works on his own speed, and it's always shut on fast. 2-yard gain for Brown that time.
For NC State now, the key is to be patient, but don't be slow in the process. You know, just continue to do what you're doing. If you can stick a big one in there, stick the big play in there, but do not turn the ball over at this stage of the game.
Well, they trail by 8. We have had no turnovers in this game. We've had a safety. Evans with a pass. It is complete to Blackman. Blackman in the flats, and Patterson. Kevin Patterson rolls him out of bounds at the 39-yard line. It's a 15-yard gain. Moves the first down marker.
See, that's safe. That's a safe play, but you pick up 15 yards. Pass pro intact. You know, ball is safe. No chance of interception, and you put the ball into the hands of a playmaker.
Now, it appears NC State can get a first down inside the 1. 1st and 10 at the 10. This is Baker, and he's stood up quickly by Aaron Curry.
Boy, Bo Robinson. He was a log jam on that one. Some guys are big, but they don't play big.
Yeah.
He's big and plays big.
There's Aaron Curry, who played big as well on that play.
Doubt.
Sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Our Aaron scoreboard. West Virginia's getting comfortable with their home surroundings now. And look at that, upset in the Big Ten with Indiana. Wisconsin rolling. So is Purdue. 2nd down and about 8. Play action for Daniel Evans. Stands up, delivers, and it's incomplete. Intended for Blackman.
Good
Curry was covering.
Yeah, good coverage. They were trying to run the crossing routes, which if you catch them in man, that's good. You can get some of those, quote, legal picks down in the red zone. The guys in the black hats have made the adjustment. They seem to have gathered themselves now. 2 good plays on defense for Wake Forest. Big down for the Wolfpack.
Jaron James is split wide to the top side. We've got Dunlap as a slot to the left.
Where is Hill?
Hill is tight to the left. Evans to throw into the end zone and overthrows Darrell Blackman, covering on the play Riley Swanson. And Evans stood in there, took a hit.
Yeah, he did. And he went on the outside to Swanson. I'm partial. I'll admit it up front. I like the big fella, 6'6", 277, because he can post people up. That time he had single coverage inside by a body. Would have been a clash of the Titans, but I like those chances.
27-yard field goal for John Duraney out of the hold of Daniel Evans. More about that here in a second. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is good. So NC State salvages 3 out of an 11-play drive from their own 32-yard line. John Duraney's field goal cuts the lead to 5.
Roller today, fellas.
Lincoln Financial Sports and Raycom Sports presenting ACC football from Carter Finley, North Carolina. The narrow the Wake Forest lead to 22-17. John Duraney's kickoff, fielded there by Kevin Marion. And Marion speeds up the sideline. Marion with an excellent return to midfield and is brought down at the Wake Forest 49-yard line. A 34-yard return by Kevin Marion.
Boy, that is priceless for Wake Forest. 6-point swing. They miss a field goal. NC State makes the field goal. You're trying to put the momentum back on the red shirt side, and then Marion comes out and gives you 34 yards, puts you in beautiful field position. Not the way Chuck Amato would have liked to see it happen.
Well, each time Wake Forest each time either team has had the short field, they've scored. Best starting spot of the day for the Deacons, a yard shy of midfield. Play action for Skinner. Pass to the flats, complete to his fullback, Richard Belton. And we've seen the fullback featured more in this game today than we have in quite a while. It's down to the 43-yard line. A completion is 7. Let's bring in Mike Hogwood.
Well, you know, last week the one thing Wake didn't do was finish in the fourth quarter. Well, somebody made this sign. Wake Forest, we finish. That's what the WF stands for. 4 quarters. It's sitting right behind the bench. All the players are looking at it, and that is really their focus here in this fourth quarter.
Well, Mike, they score this drive, and they could put NC State in a very tough spot. Duraney's field goal, the first by either side in the second half. Hand off to Harris, and he's hit immediately by LaRue Rumpf.
Another point on finish. Daniel Evans has a black T-shirt on under his pads, and on his chest it says finish. So they've had some success with finishes, and they understand the importance as well.
Well, they come from behind in the fourth quarter of their last 2 doctor win over Boston College and Florida State. 3rd down and 8. As big a play as there is in this game for Wake Forest. Here comes the blitz. Skinner has time and throws it away.
But there's nothing like pressure. I'll take pressure over prevent anytime you call. Because now you do need corners to be able to do it. Let me be honest about it. You can't just rush people unless you have people that can cover people. But this time, whether it's a risk or not, Steve Dunlap's Wolfpack, they came after the quarterback. Pushed him a little bit on the side. That is relentless pursuit, and there's nobody open.
Sam Swank on for a 53-yarder out of the hold of John Temple. At the right hash with a slight breeze at his back. Kick is up. Right down the middle for the second time today. Sam Swank nails a 53-yarder. He said, don't bring them on unless they're 50 or better.
Oh, boy.
That's the 6th of his career and the 3rd of the day.
Chuck Amato's group has been proficient at blocks. No shot, good protection, snap, hold, kick. It's all good.
And he's a sophomore. Jim Grove watching it, so's Chuck Amato. Well, subdued reactions from both. There's still some work to do. So our scores, Wake Forest 25, NC State 17. We'll return after these messages from Wake Forest University and NC State University. 2nd down and 4. Inside handoff, Andre Brown, and a big hole is there. Brown trying to outrun Vaughn. If he does, he's in the end zone, but Vaughn catches up and knocks him out of bounds at the 27-yard line of Wake Forest. It's a 46-yard breakout by Andre Brown.
You don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it can happen. And Wake Forest is thinking, oh my goodness, shades of last week when Clemson with his 2 speed burners in the backfield.
Well, we got an injured player, and it's going to be Andre Brown, who's over there on the Wake Forest sidelines. And he's going to be checked out.
You go through a whole week of dealing with the Tigers and their 2 speedsters. Then you get NC State. Now watch the acceleration. The move was brilliant. And at this point, he is horsing.
Yeah.
But that's a big catch down by
Chip Vaughn.
Yeah, just Chip Vaughn on that.
Yep.
It was Sutton, yeah, Chip Vaughn.
Vaughn makes the stop, and Andre Brown getting up. 45-yard run. He'll hobble off to the other sideline. He's moving pretty good. For the appreciation of the Wolfpack fans.
Speedsters are usually shocked when they don't score.
Yeah.
I think they go through a little psychological thing down there. I can't believe it.
They're looking at the DB and saying, hey, would he catch me if he had to run with this ball?
That's right. Now he's saying, well, maybe I'm a little nicked up. That's a big run. Big play.
1st and 10 at the 27. Dunlap split wide to the top. Bowen split into the slot. Jaron James is the split man out to the left. And this is Tony Baker. And Baker is brought down after about a 1-yard gain. Florida State at the half leading Duke on our Aaron scoreboard. Here comes the handoff. It goes to Baker. He's down to the 22. So NC State putting themselves in position. They're 8 points back. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion ties this thing up. And they've got plenty of time to get it done. They're looking at 3rd down and 5 now.
It just helps so much, Steve Martin, when you can run the football.
Yes.
Gives you those options. They you know, Coach Tressman can run his entire offense. He's not being dictated to right now by Wake Forest, although Wake's playing good ball.
Well, that was a breakout move by Andre Brown to get that 45 yards. Now it's up to Daniel Evans and company to take advantage of the short field. Evans to throw. It is complete, I don't know how, to Anthony Hill. This thing is a surgical pass to Hill with Stukes, Abadi, and Alfonso Smith all in the vicinity. It's going to be a 9-yard gain.
Well, now you know why I was lobbying for Big Hill to get involved last time they were in the red zone. Because, see, it doesn't have to be perfect. Because this guy, again, he blocks the sun out. He's got long arms, good hands, good reach. Again, ball on the money. This is why NC State is so dangerous in the red zone.
They are 3 for 3 today, and their 4th venture in. Handoff goes to Baker. And Baker breaks a tackle off the right side, and he's in for the touchdown. A 13-yard score for Tony Baker. His 2nd of the afternoon.
I can hear it now. Law firm of Brown, Baker, and Evans here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Buddy, they're getting it done. Now, this was stopped, but he wasn't stopped. He ran through a pretty good football player in Giles Tucker. Boy, his guys didn't. The red shirts didn't give up.
And NC State going for the tie. That's his 2nd touchdown today. They're going for the 2-point conversion. That will tie this game up with 5:06 left to play in the 4th quarter. Evans out of the shotgun. James split wide to the left. 3 wide receivers to the right. Here's the pass to Hill. He can't make up the catch. Arnoux covering on the play at the 1-yard line. And so State comes up 1 yard short.
That's exactly where I would have gone with the football. But I needed him in the end zone.
Yeah.
Because even had he made the catch, he may not have scored.
Baker goes in from 15 yards out. Pulls State to within 2 of Wake Forest. Tony Baker, for the 2nd time today, puts NC State on the board.
That's just a strong run, Steve. And again, Giles Tucker's 270 pounds. He runs through him, runs around Alfonso Smith, who's an excellent run support corner as well. And here, going to the guy that gone to Anthony Hill. Knee might have been down prior to the yard marker, but he doesn't hold on.
He had to come back with that ball thrown behind him. Otherwise, he was in the end zone.
Yeah.
You knew it.
Well,
the tight end.
Yeah, most tight ends, I mean, those guys, they tend to get the job done.
5 minutes, 6 seconds left to go.
Boy, this is fun.
This is something.
Especially when you don't care.
This is Kevin Marion, and he is brought down quickly out to the 20-yard line. It's a 20-yard return. Hey, Wake Forest. Ball security, very important at this point in time at their own 22-yard line. Riley Skinner under center. Belton and Harris have gone all the way. We've not seen D'Angelo Bryant, and the red shirt hasn't come off Josh Adams yet. Handoff inside goes to Belton, and he runs into Tank Tyler.
Yeah, well, this is the time of the game where it helps to be playing at home. If you have a 12-man influence, this is when the crowd needs to show off, because you can disrupt the signal caller, and then you get a guy like Tank Tyler, who has just been a beast all afternoon long.
Crowd exhorted by Tank Tyler and also Martrell Brown, who implored him to make some noise.
This is pivotal.
4 of 11 on third this afternoon. Third down and 9. Wake Forest up by 2. Riley Skinner.
The reverse has worked so well for him.
Here comes the handoff. It goes to Harris looking for a hole. Nothing is there. Tank Tyler, Martrell Brown stop Harris for a 1-yard gain. If that brings the punter on the field.
Well, this is tough. You go to what has worked. Going against your offensive line, and Tank Tyler. I mean, at that point, he just manhandled Lewis Frazier.
Man. And
that's hard to do. Frazier's a 300-pounder. He's a good player.
Sam Swank back in punt formation.
We have a timeout. State, that's their third and final timeout of the game.
So NC State exhausts their third timeout. And with 2:52 left to go, they're getting ready to get the ball back. And we'll return after this message from NC State University.
To try to win this with his defense.
No.
So that's why they didn't have to gamble on offense or try to do, something that wasn't sound.
Well, now they don't have to defend the short field. Oh, that was almost picked off. Almost picked off by Alfonso Smith, and that would have been to the farm. My goodness.
This is what we'll look back and say, woulda, shoulda. Swanson had one in his hands. Boy, this one, Alfonso Smith.
Oh.
Tried to catch that with his wrist.
Yeah. Alfonso Smith, who took one to the house last year.
He's a baller. Oh, my
against
goodness.
NC State. So did Josh Gaddis.
Yep. Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yep. Second down and 10. Stops the clock at 2:36. Evans to throw. This one's complete. And Barrett will get out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Josh Gaddis drove him out. A completion of about 4 yards. It stops the clock at 2:31.
The life of cornerbacks. I mean, how is he supposed to get that out of his mind and keep going? But they have to, man. That's their life is play, forget it. They have to let it go no matter what happens and continue the ball. But that, my friend, was close.
This is a big third down. Third down
so?
and 6. Yes, I do. Out of timeouts, NC State's got to get this third down.
Pressure or coverage?
Coverage this time.
Everything.
Here comes Evans. He's got it.
Baller.
First down run out to the 39, a gain of 13. Stukes makes sure he stays down and gets no more. That'll move the chains. The clock stops at the 2:23 mark.
That's how a good one can become a great one. How competitive are you? Did they draw that up? Nope. This is guts. He went for the yellow line, and he can't see that it's yellow. I keep forgetting that.
Oh, that ball tipped. That is Giles Tucker.
Yeah, big play.
And he's had a big day today. That's his second pass deflection. And there's an anxious father, a former All-American punter and quarterback here at NC State, Johnny Evans. He's the analyst on the NC State radio network. Brings up second down now and 10. He told Doc, he said, being an analyst allows me to keep the emotion out.
Keep the emotion out.
Do my job.
Play. You know, Tucker, who was when Baker's touchdown, ran through Tucker, so Giles made up for it with that deflection.
2nd down and 10. 2:13 left to play. NC State needs a field goal to win. Here's Evans again, flushed out of the pocket. This time he's headed for the sidelines, but he won't make it. Evans won't make it. The ball stays in play at the 43. Aaron Curry drives him out of bounds.
Still, competitiveness. How will you compete under pressure?
Another 3rd down play. As Johnny looks on at his son Daniel.
Curry for the Demon Deacons. What a ball game. So many heroes on both sides of the ball.
NC State 5 of 11 on 3rd. They need one here. Oh, the ball dropped on the carpet. Evans stays alive. Pass complete to Lamar Barrett at the Wake Forest 46. And now they are closing in on John Delaney's field goal range.
We've seen the ball on the carpet before. He doesn't panic. He's a holder. When your holder is your quarterback and the ball's a little low, no problem. Great hands, no panic, avoids the pressure. There wasn't much. Big play.
John Delaney has kicked a 54-yarder in his career. Career-long 54-yarder. 4 for 4 coming in today. He's already kicked a couple.
Boy, the pressure, they fake the pressure.
Oh, shovel pass ahead. And it's going to be to Baker, and it gets him down to the 40-yard line. Gain of about 5. Clock continues to roll. John Russell in on the tackle. Clock showing 1:11.
You think Mark Trestman drew that one up? See, this is what I mean by a playmaker. That's Brett Favre-ish. Make it happen.
Delaney missed a field goal earlier. He nailed the 27-yarder. He's 1 for 2 on the day. They're outside his range right now. Evans.
You don't want to hold and play on this.
Is it intercepted by Gaddis? Intercepted by Josh Gaddis. And Wake Forest's defense holds the day.
The players, they call him ice. And up to that point, he'd done just that, trying to make a play. Let's see what happens. Pretty decent pass protection. Then he holds it, then he makes that decision.
And it flew on him.
Yeah, why? That you got to say why. Because he had no intentions of putting that ball in the middle of the field. And unlike Swanson and unlike Alphonso Smith, Josh Gaddis makes the play.
Now, he saw something when he pulled it down and went.
He did. There was something that he, and I don't know what it was.
Josh Gaddis with his 9th career interception comes up with a play that's the first turnover of the afternoon. And all Wake Forest has to do is down the football, and they've got themselves a win.
DBs that can catch are priceless.
Yes. Riley Skinner takes a knee. Tank Tyler, he says, no, I'm not quitting this one. No, I'm not taking any chances. And that'll do it.
Tank was a caveman today.
Jim Grobe rushes across the field. Wake Forest doesn't have to take another play. And the Demon Deacons now go 6-1. They are now bowl eligible. Their best start since 1979. And they hand the Wolfpack their first ACC loss. And that scrambles things yet again in the tough Atlantic Division. And let's go to the sidelines. Mike Hogwood standing by with Jim Grobe.
And he's trying to catch his breath probably right now. What a football game this was today.
Yeah, Mike, that was a heck of a finish. It's another one of those great ACC games. If you don't care who wins, it's a great game to watch.
Yeah, that's what we said. You don't care who wins, it's fun to watch. If not, your gut's all torn up inside.
It's every week. It's the same thing every week. You got to play late.
But you've got to sense something special about this Wake Forest team. They do a lot of little things to overcome adversity, as you said at halftime.
Well, I've told you before, Mike, I love these kids. I've never had a team that I felt closer to. They're just a good bunch of kids that love to play the game.
Your defense, when they had to have a stop, really came up big, held in NC State to a field goal. They were laying some hats on some people.
Yeah, I was pleased when we held them to a field goal. I was really disappointed when we let them have the long run and get down and score. We just let them score too quick, and then we were really in a dogfight. But what a great play by Josh Gaddis to end the game.
Well, you know, this has a chance now to be a special season. I mean, you got your 6th win. It's been 1979 since Wake Forest has had this kind of start. This has got to be something that you and all these Wake Forest players have got to be really excited about.
Well, Mike, we were so disappointed last week, me especially, for our kids. We had a great opportunity to beat Clemson. I was hoping that our kids would get back up this week. I think it's a tribute to them to get back off the mat and fight.
Well, it is kind of neat to see Wake Forest up there now contending for an ACC championship.
Well, I'm enjoying it myself, Mike.
I'll bet you are. All right, Steve, that's Jim Grove. As you can tell, he's got a big smile on his face.
Well, the road to Jacksonville can go in a lot of different places. It can go through Boston. It can go through Clemson. And today, Wake Forest served notice that you might have to take it through Winston-Salem before all is said and done. They're 6-1, NC State 3-3. It's a final. Wake Forest hangs on and beats the Wolfpack 25-23 in Raleigh.